But one of the things that I think was lost on a lot of the sellers who represented themselves in some of these transactions is it's really hard to negotiate with somebody if they don't believe what you said. And I'll give you an example of that. Let's say I work for the private equity firm. I'm talking to Jim. Jim's very interested in doing a deal with us. He wants to sell his mechanical contracting business. It's a $20 million firm. And we put an offer on the table for 20 million bucks, but Jim wants 30. Jim might spend a lot of time having discussions with us. He might poo-poo the offer. Hey, I really wanted more than 20. I really wanted to get 30 to get this thing done. And then as we start to put the LOI on the table or the letter of intent, all of a sudden Jim out of nowhere says, well, hey, I've got another offer for 32 million. So unless you can match 32 million, I'm going with the other offer. Now, Jim may have been telling the truth, but more times than not, Jim was bluffing. And if Jim hadn't done the work to build up the credibility throughout the duration of the relationship, the easiest thing for us to do was call his bluff. Now, calling a bluff, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later in our discussion, is not always the right thing to do because, the worst thing to do is he tells you, I want 32 million, otherwise I'm not doing a deal with you. And you were actually willing to pay the 32 million, but you said no way and called this bluff. And it turns out he was bluffing, and then somebody else came in the next day and bought it for 31 million. And those sorts of things happen. So there's some dynamics at play with regard to bluffing, which we're going to discuss. But, building up credibility is very important because the more credible you are, in any sort of negotiation, there's going to be aspects that are extremely important to you and some that are not.